Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Pisces relationships, and yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the first house in astrology is represents, generally speaking, very often the paternal grandmother and maternal grandfather. So one or both of these people, I should say, may have a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Pisces-like characteristics. Could be people that are somewhat nebulous, unclear, confused, maybe a little bit even confounding. People that are very idealistic, can be super sensitive, but at the same time may be a little bit deceptive and duplicitous and perhaps very passive and very non-confrontational as well. So, and also very compassionate and imaginative, perhaps. Now, one or both people may be involved in a Pisces profession, such as bartending, working as a medium, psychic, dancer, involved in poetry, an empath, doing something connected with the metaphysical, which of course can include astrology, something with spirituality, oceanography, chemistry, pharmaceutical work. Now, as far as the connection and relationship goes with one or both people, maybe one with a lot of idealism and where you really generally strongly overlook the transgressions of one another, and at the same time it might be tainted and tarnished, unfortunately, with a little bit of duplicity and deception, but it can be one also where a lot of compassion and self-sacrifice is shown. Now, next up, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the third house in astrology represents siblings and cousins. And Taurus is often on the third house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people may be a Taurus, sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Taurus-like characteristics. It can be people that may be somewhat stubborn, obstinate, very stolid, but yet very placid and calm, peaceful, very tranquil. Could be people that might even be seen as somewhat boring or monotonous even, but very stable and steady at the same time, and have good powers of perseverance and persistence. So also one or more of these people may be involved in a Taurus-like profession, such as working as a financial advisor, banking, cashier, stockbroker, even as a pawnbroker, dealing with the value of things, doing something with cultivation, gardening, perhaps. So anyway, as far as the relationship and connection goes though with siblings and cousins, it can be one that's very steady and stable and with a lot of reliability and coming through for each other when necessary. And it could be one, though, that might be seen as a little bit boring or monotonous, but, I mean, sometimes no excitement is good news, so to speak. And it can be one, too, where there's a lot of, there can be some stubbornness and really unyielding qualities, though, connected with this. And you may see these people, your siblings and cousins, as really like that. So anyway, next thing up as far as Pisces relationships go. Well, the fourth house in astrology represents the less dominant parent, which of course is often the mother. And Gemini often falls on the fourth house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So anyway, one or more of these people, or I'm sorry, this person could be a Gemini sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Gemini-like characteristics. Could be someone that's rather mercurial, fickle, changeable, vacillating, but yet very loquacious and talkative. Can be somebody that's very versatile, talks about a wide divergence of subjects and could be very dexterous as well and be very good with one's hands, but might seem somewhat superficial as well, and but very vivacious. And anyway, and this person may be involved in a Gemini-like profession, such as working in journalism, radio, any communications field, such as data or satellite communications, writing, doing something connected with the hands that show dexterity, such as working as an AC, refrigeration, or even auto mechanic. Also, too, as far as the connection and relationship go with this person, it can be one where it's very, really where there's a lot of variety and intellectual stimulation and communication, where there's a lot of talk about various wide divergence of subjects, but it can be one that might be seen as a little bit maybe superficial, and you don't really maybe feel that real deep connection with this person. And remember that a Gemini energy can also be vicarious, and it can be maybe where maybe you live you live through each other to some degree, through each other's accomplishments and achievements to some level. So anyway, next thing up is as far as Pisces relationships go. Well, the fifth house in astrology represents children and love, romantic relationships. So the zodiac sign Cancer will often fall on the fifth house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people may be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody Cancerian-like characteristics. It can be people that could be somewhat moody, temperamental, fickle, very emotional, sensitive to criticism and ridicule and derisive and derogatory remarks, but yet very contemplative and perhaps very enamored with home and family life, very introverted perhaps, and it could be homebodies. So also, too, one or more of these people may be involved in a Cancerian-like profession, such as working as a historian, a home caregiver, doing something connected with restaurant work, cooking, working in a fast food outlet, culinary work, even working maybe by water, such as working as a lifeguard perhaps, or some home professions such as a home business or home renovation, remodeling, siding, roofing. And as far as the connection and relationship goes with these people, it can be one where it's very nurturing and you show a lot of sympathy toward one another, and a lot of and very protective of each other as well. But it can be one where you're a little bit clingy, and there might be strong sensitivity to criticism and ridicule as well. So, and it could be one where really you spend a lot of time kind of in the home doing introverted type things, so to speak, with each other. So anyway, well, the next thing up as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the sixth house in astrology, that is the less dominant parent, siblings, so we're talking about aunts and uncles, and Leo will often fall on the sixth house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people represent and may have a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody Leo-like characteristics. It can be people that are very dignified, very proud, flamboyant, ostentatious even, might even seem somewhat arrogant or egotistical, but very confident, self-assured, have a lot of fortitude and courage, very showy, like to stand out, command a lot of presence, perhaps, but be very generous and magnanimous as well, but can be maybe somewhat extravagant. Now, also, one or more of these people may be involved in a Leo-like profession, such as something connected with entertainment, amusement, doing something with theater, movie production, working as an actor or an actress, working with children, perhaps a creative field, doing something connected with game designing, such as video game designing or board game designing, for example. Also, are working in cardiology, working as a cardiologist or a cardiac surgeon. And as far as the relationship and connection goes with these people, it can be one where a lot of generosity and magnanimous energy is shown, where you really, whether it's through monetary means or through time or both. And it can be one where it can be a little bit extravagant, where you might spend a good amount of money on each other. Also, too, one where, remember that Leo energy is connected with pride. So, just be careful, like if in an argument or something, that pride does come before fall. And this could be a connection to where I could see where, you really handle the connection with a lot of pride. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, Virgo will fall on the, first let's say the 7th house in astrology. That represents a significant other, marriage partner, and often the maternal grandmother and paternal grandfather. And Virgo, of course, will fall on the 7th house cusp in a solar or natal chart. For Pisces, it is the opposite sign of Pisces. And one or more of these people may have a Virgo sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Virgo-like characteristics. Can be one or more of these people may be somewhat persnickety, pedantic, very fastidious, meticulous dressers, very neat and clean, organized, very systematic and methodical, but could be rather frugal. And people that can even be borderline compulsive complainers, but could be really very service-oriented and helpful. So anyway, also too, one or more of these people may be involved in a Virgo-like profession, such as working as a professional organizer, doing data entry, something with analytics, something connected with extrapolation of data, doing something maybe with cleaning even, or something where being punctilious with details is required, such as doing detailing on vehicles, or doing computer programming, and then going back to a day like data entry, data analyst. I would say those could be, you may need a really be very acute with in terms of details. So anyway, also too, as far as the connection and relationship goes with these people, it can be one where sadly there might be a lot of criticism and really where a lot of judgment is passed, and where it's really where the people may be somewhat judgmental and critical of each other, but at the same time can be one where there is a lot of where it's very service oriented and generally not in a really officious or unwanted manner. And it could be one where you're really as far as caring about each other's health as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the 8th house in astrology represents sexual, intimate relationships, and Libra will often fall on the 8th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people may be a Libra sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Libra-like characteristics. It could be people that are rather charming, diplomatic, refined, cultured, equitable, fair-minded, people that are balanced, ones that can also abhor injustice and unfairness, and people that are generally very non-confrontational and very peaceful as well, and really desire strong harmony, and modesty. So anyway, well, as far as this goes, one or more of these people may be involved in a Libra-like profession, such as doing something connected with the law, like working as a lawyer, attorney, bailiff, paralegal, court reporter, judge. It could be somebody involved in some field connected with arbitration, negotiation, human resources, working as a diplomat in an art field such as painting, drawing, or sculpting. Now, as far as the connection and relationship goes with one or more of these people, it can be one that could be very peaceful, non-combative, and non-confrontational, one where injustice will be abhorred and where one may speak out if something is not equitable or fair, and one that's very balanced as well and dispersing activities evenly. So where you show a lot of tact and diplomacy as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the ninth house in astrology represents in-laws and grandchildren, and Scorpio will often fall on the ninth house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people may have a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Scorpio-like characteristics. Can be people that are very willful, resilient, very penetrating, insightful, ones that could be somewhat even surreptitious or sneaky even, people that sometimes may even be a little bit manipulative, but ones that are very have very strong willpower and very good bounce back ability, people that can really can be incisive, can see through subterfuge and superficiality very easily. Now also too, one or more of these people may be involved in a Scorpio-like profession, such as working as a sex therapist, coroner, mortician, embalmer, someone that works in psychology or psychiatry, an occult supernatural field, astrology, doing something connected with forensics or investigation or even surgery. So also too, as far as the connection and relationship goes with these people, it can be one that's very intense and powerful. Sadly, in some cases, may be destructive. Could be ones where there's a lot of control issues, perhaps with power. Might even be turbulent in some cases, but one where really where is a lot of intense emotional energy may be expended as well, and where really these connections might have a transforming effect on you and these people. So anyway, well, the next thing up is, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the 10th house in astrology represents the dominant parent, which is often the father, and Sagittarius often falls on the 10th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So this person may be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embodies Sagittarius-like characteristics. It can be someone that's rather jocular, jovial, happy-go-lucky, effervescent, very exuberant, expansive, optimistic, very blunt, straightforward, and forthright, and really one that just generally may not mince words, but can be maybe sports-minded and adventurous. So also too, this person may be involved in a Sagittarius-like profession, such as working as an interpreter, translator, perhaps in the import-export business, working with foreigners. It can be someone that works in a traveling field, such as working as a travel agent, a pilot, or even a cruise director. Maybe another thing could be working with something connected with philosophy, religion, theology, and working as maybe a professor at a college, university, or doing something sports related. Now also too, as far as the relationship and connection goes with this person, it can be one where there's a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm, and maybe you do a lot of outdoor activities with this person, one where It could be you're involved with sports with this person very strongly, perhaps. But 1, 2, where the energy is very blunt, very straightforward and direct, and sometimes to the point of demoralizing, one or both people. So really, that's what that's about. And anyway, the next thing up is, well, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the 11th house in astrology represents friends and stepchildren, and Capricorn often falls on the 11th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people may have a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Capricorn-like characteristics. It can be people that are very serious, very business-like, professional, responsible, might seem somewhat despondent or melancholy, but be very serious, very consistent. Ones that could be rather conventional, orthodox, and really ones, and really two, where there might be some despondency connected with these people, or in 1, 2, where they're might be more mature beyond their years. So anyway, and 1 or more of these people may be involved in a Capricorn-like profession, such as working as something with business management, working as a business consultant, dentistry, information technology even. I would even say dermatology, because Capricorn, of course, is associated with the skin. Something connected with management, working as a landlord, doing something with government or political work. And also, too, as far as the connection and relationship go with 1 or more of these people, it can be one that's very consistent, where you really know what to expect day to day, one where you have maybe a lot of seriousness, where the whimsical qualities generally have a hard time coming out, and 1, 2, in some cases where it might be somewhat depressing in some cases, and Capricorn energy can be limiting and restricting as well. But one where the connection you feel is very orthodox and conventional, and there's nothing really much out of the ordinary that goes on with it. So anyway, last but not least, well, as far as Pisces relationships go, well, the 12th house in astrology represents the dominant parents' siblings. So we're talking about aunts, and we're talking about uncles as well. Really, this is something where, the zodiac sign Aquarius will often fall on the 12th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Pisces. So one or more of these people may be an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply embody Aquarius-like characteristics. It can be people that are rather eccentric, non-conforming, people that can have humanitarian and selfless qualities, ones that might be somewhat ingenious, innovative, unorthodox, unconventional, eccentric, might even have the maverick in them, so to speak, and also very amiable and friendly as well, but might be somewhat aloof and detached. Now, 1 or more of these people may be involved in an Aquarius-like profession, such as working as an environmental engineer, an environmentalist, doing something with innovation or invention, working with computers, electronics, esoteric subjects such as astrology, aerospace, astronomy, even rocket science, perhaps in some cases. Now, as far as the connection and relationship goes, with 1 or more of these people, it can be one where a lot of friendliness and amiability is shown, and where you show a lot of consideration for one another, but at the same, and really can have strong expression of ingenious and new ideas and concepts, but at the same time, it might be a little bit cool, aloof, and detached. And it can be one where maybe you see each other more as friends as opposed to even family members. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Pisces relationships. Stay tuned next time where I will be giving you my take on the April 15th, 2018 new moon in Aries. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.